Today on Zielonka, our new field of potatoes needs to be harvested, so it's time for some new equipment and a slightly different approach. Will this work better? Let's get farming. Hello and welcome along and welcome back to Zielonka. We're going to head straight across the road and over to the shop then today because, yeah, I want to do something a little bit different with the potatoes this time. We're going to try and row them up on the field. So the equipment I'm looking to get for this, we're going to need the Grimmy Topper, and that's what we're about to go and use on this tractor. But we've got this Grimmy Pack mod downloaded as well. And I think we're going to use this, the WR200CDW. We're eventually going to have to get the SE8555. But this should do us for what we want today. Now, this is going to lift the potatoes and get them rowed. So that should be perfect. This is going to have to go on the back of the Massey. So we're going to get the little farmal topping first. So let's grab this. This is the Grimmy KS75-4. It looks like it goes on the back or the front of a tractor. I tend to use it on the back of a tractor. So we will lease this. We could buy it outright, but that'd leave us no money for everything else. And also, it's negligible leasing cost on this. I'm hoping after this year, and we've got all of our crops done and sold and everything, we're going to be able to buy a lot of the equipment we've ended up having to lease this year. The one we're not going to be able to, because it's still going to be $500,000, is the harvester. It is just way too far out of our price range to do that. I'm hoping maybe after next year's harvest that might be the case, but certainly right now it's not. So the width on this is 3 meters, so this will move through the field much faster than our harvester will, or our lifter will. So this should get a nice head start. Only downside to this is that I really want to use this tractor. Actually, no, I want to use this tractor on the piece of kit we're going to use to collect these up. So that should be fine. Let's get this lined up. I think it's going to be, yeah, it's basically 4 rows by the looks of things. We have got care wheels on this tractor as well. So that means that we're able to go into this crop without any issues. Let's set a hired worker down on that. And yeah, that is now nicely topping my potatoes. So with that working, what I'm going to do is park the trailer up on our tractor here. I was very much thinking of trying to get this job done at the same time as harvesting the red beets, but I don't think our little tractor will be able to handle this half-pipe trailer. It's quite a hefty trailer. And I don't think that we'll be able to run both at the same time. So potatoes very much is going to be the order of today. Nothing coming. Good. We can just skip across the road. And that means that even if we aren't able to get these lifted, aren't able to get these collected today, we should be able to, at the very least, get them so that they're not going to wither, which is a big worry of mine at the moment. So back into here, we're going to get the WR200. We don't want manual discharge. We do need to change the number plate on this, and we'll change that to Thefisherj so it matches the tractor. Yep, there we are. And lease that. Yes. So that's 841,000 for leasing that. Now, we could, I know a lot of people will say, oh, you could have put the topper on the front and had the harvester on the back. And the topper is twice the width of this harvester. So it wouldn't have worked. Plus, this harvester is almost full horsepower for this tractor. So it wouldn't have worked that way either. Now, I'm going to pop this into here because we need some narrow tires on this tractor. That is not going to cost us anything because we started this tractor off with narrow tires. We'll start her up again. Oh, actually, while we're here and while we got the money, you might have noticed as well, our condition, this needs repairing. It conked out on me 3 times during the last video. So, yeah, that does mean we're spending a little bit more money for that. On the plus side, we are still selling parsnip soup today. I can't see any way around that. It's going to hit our triple soup eventually. But at the moment, we just need the money coming in more than we can wait. Once we get these potatoes up, though, we can turn that into potato soup and have that working, which will give us a much better attack at the harvest and actually getting triple soup made and not having to use any of our stuff that we want to use for that. So we'll bring this into here, and I think we're going to try and set up a yeah, we're going to try and set up a GPS for this. So turn it on, drop it down. We will turn on GPS and then in. And I want to be putting these windrows down on the field if I can. That seems to be working fine. So let's set our first waypoint once we're actually at 0 degrees. Like that. And first waypoint. And away. And yeah, this now should mean we are pretty good for this. We want to auto width. And away we go. Yeah, and look at that. So we're just putting in windrows now of potatoes. We'll go up and down this field doing that. They're not going to be very wide, though. Wow. I was expecting a slightly wider setup than that. And of course, I should have known. It's 1.5 meters. It's not going to be very wide. Now, the approach I'm taking with this is kind of a racetrack like approach. We're going up and up this side and down the other side, and then once we've got across, we'll do the same with the next set. It seems to be working fairly well. We have got these nice windrows of potatoes out. And it's going fairly fast. We're doing the downward approach at sort of, or downhill at about 9 miles an hour. Uphill we slow to 6, but yeah, we get back up to 9 at the top here. So it's working really well. We've got a very nice collection of potatoes coming out. Now, what I am having to watch for, and what we're going to have to watch for when we come to harvest this and collect up these windrows, you can see we're getting some of the windrows out on the roadway here, and I need to try and work out the best way to avoid causing problems with that. I think the best way is probably going to be to harvest these in the opposite direction to the way that we've been lifting them. I'm quite impressed with this piece of kit. It's not something I've often done this, where I've lifted it into windrows and then collected it up. It's something that I've seen done quite a bit in game. It's not something I think we particularly do in the UK. I've not really seen any farmers approaching things this way. But it does seem to work. I mean, we are getting our way through this field quite nicely. What I'm going to do, though, is when our other tractor finishes, we'll get this sort of racetracky bit that we're doing finished off. And then we'll go and take that tractor. We'll get the trailer over here, and we'll get another piece of kit that we should be able to then lift these off the ground. I think that is going to be the best way to do it. We really want to be making the potato soup. I want to take the weight off of the parsnips to keep us going and put it onto the potatoes, and that way by the time we come out to the other side of this, we should be able to make as much of the triple vegetable soup as possible. We've got a pretty good yield coming off this field. It's not massively down compared to the field next door, which is very good news. I'm quite happy about that. I think the carrots are ready now as well, looking at this. But our little tractor, the farmall, is just about ready to finish. I think that will finish when it gets to the end there. Yes. So that's done. What we'll do is we'll do one more row down then in the Massey here, and we'll come up to the top, and we'll set the Massey doing the rest of this field on a hired worker, and we will go and get the next bit of kit to start lifting these potatoes. This has actually been really quick. We are at 10:15 in the morning, and we're already over halfway through this field. We should have the rest of this field fully rowed up by midday, and we're going to be starting on actually collecting these up before 11 o'clock as well. So hired worker is on their way. We'll leave them to that. They're going a lot slower. I think that is because, yeah, let's get that up to a reasonable speed. Right, that can get to work on that. We're going to jump in the farmall now and take this back to the yard. We'll grab the trailer, get that up to the field as well, and then we'll head to the shop and see what we can get to start collecting up these potatoes. I have a feeling I know what some of the comments are going to be on this video. I'm looking at this and trying to figure out which actually is the right way round to attach to this Grimmy. I'm not sure I've got it the right way round. I have a feeling that yeah, this may have supposed to have been the other way round. Anyway, does not matter. It worked, so we're all good. Right, let's get the trailer out of here and start getting stuff collected up. As I said, I'm not going to cart with this. We will just use this tractor to get this to the field first, and then we'll go and get the harvester. So the piece of kit we want to pick all these up is this, the Grimmy SE8555. Again, it only deals with those rows, but that should work fairly well for us here. Cover or standard configuration, no manual. Oh, yeah, I do want the manual discharge on this actually, and yeah, it should work fairly well. Again, we're going to change the number plate because ArkAngil has their name on the number plate for the little farmall. So okay, that, and buy that. Oh no, we can't buy that. We've got to lease this. 4,574. Ow. That's a little bit of a hit we're taking for that, but I don't think it's a hit I'm too worried about. We do need to get these potatoes up. It's not taking us very long to do all this, so it all kind of depends at what speed this works. And yeah, wow, this seems to be a really small tractor to have on this, but it does have the horsepower to run this, and my other tractor is tied up lifting potatoes. To get this down to the field, try and line it up with the first row, and we've got some in the grass, so we need to remember that. We will turn it on. Oh, need to unfold it first. Yeah, there we are. Turn it on. Drop it down because I can see those potatoes. And oh, the tractor's struggling a little bit. Don't know if that's because of where we are or whether that's this tractor just cannot handle this. We are picking up some potatoes. This should work on this tractor. Let's drop ourselves down a gear. There we go. We are just and too high a set of gears. But it's not happy. Yeah, look at that. We're spinning wheels like mad. Oh, because it's lifting the tractor off the ground. I think this tractor may be too small for this. That is a bit weird. Yeah. It is lifting the back wheels of this tractor up as it's on here. So I think we're going to have to get our other tractor on it. Unfortunately. That's a little bit annoying, but there's not much I can do about it. other than wait for the Massey to finish. To be honest, that would have been a little bit strange if something hadn't gone wrong to delay us. We were doing so well and making such good progress. It felt a little bit out of place. This, though, is still working well, and we're still going to be knocking this out before midday, which makes me happy. Gives us half a day to get all these collected up. And of course, the all important thing is if we don't get them all collected up today, then with not fearing this all withering, we'll be able to still get it collected up once we've got the rest of our vegetables done. But I don't think that's going to be a problem. We are doing really well as far as progress goes on here. We've got our last few rows to get out, and yeah, it's only just gone 11:30, so there's plenty of time to bring this back and get all of this done today. There is actually a more efficient way to do this that also uses well, basically creates one windrow from 3 passes. We don't have the equipment at the moment to do it, and actually we could have grabbed the equipment today, which annoys me a little bit. I didn't think about it, but basically it would have allowed us to either have a double windrow or a triple windrow and sped things up, which is a much more efficient way to do things as I think about it. So when we come to do this again next year for the next harvest, I think that's probably what we're going to try and do. Try and get a double or triple windrow sorted here. Get another piece of kit. Knowing that our farm can't run that harvester, I think there's a really neat way to do this that would work really well. So yeah, I think there are options for us to try something a little bit different next time and speed things up even more. Field is all rowed up. We just need to lift out of this last bit, turn it off, fold it up. Yeah, fold it up and get it back to the farm. It does seem to swing out sideways a little bit, as if its back wheels are stuck at a sort of a slight angle. Is that something I can alter? Yeah, it wants to sit off at the side, which is weird. Very, very weird. I'm wondering if there's a... No, there doesn't seem to be anything to sort that. So, yeah, we'll have to have a look and see why that's happening. Disconnect it here, though. Hopefully not blocking access to our sprayer. Disconnect all of that. Right. Let's go and see if we have any more luck with this harvester with the Massey instead. Pick it up and turn it on. Drop it down. Does seem to be lifting the tractor a little bit. I want to put the pipe out as well, because otherwise it's going to hit our trailer. And let's pull forward and see if this works. Seems to be handling a little bit better. Yeah, oh yeah, that's handling that much better. And because we got the manual unload, oh no, it did actually try and unload that into the trailer. This is when things start getting a little bit time consuming. We are only a row and a bit in, and we're already at 98% full. In fact, that is got to be just one more litre. Yeah, so 6,800. And this is now when I have to go carting with a tractor I'm not sure is 100% up to the job. We want to stick ourselves between the potato rows with our wheels and see if we can get this unloaded. And this trailer will hold hold almost 2 loads off this. 12,100 is what this has. So I'm expecting to unload this again at the bottom. And yeah, as long as this little farm can pull this, we'll be okay. But I do have my concerns as to whether we'll actually be able to pull it. In which case, I think we're in for a rough ride, because then that means continually disconnecting this tractor from this harvester to get this to work. Second load up off the harvester, a little bit uphill, and it's not overly happy, but we're not going to be doing a lot of uphill carting with this. We're not emptying the harvester as it goes either. This is the bit that's going to take the time. We've now got to get all of these potatoes off this field and get them to our soup factory. And I am absolutely convinced now that there is a better way for me to have done this. It would have cost me a little bit more money, but I think it would have saved us a lot of time to do it. On the plus side, now that we have our first load of potatoes coming into the soup factory, we can switch the production from the parsnips to the potatoes. So we'll tip that. And as the potatoes come in, we want to deactivate production on that. So we've got about 100,000 litres of parsnips left. So that's good. I'm quite happy with that. We can then turn to the potatoes. We will activate the potato soup production. And from now on, the potatoes can start funding the rest of our harvest. Even this Massey is struggling on some of these hills. Yeah, look at that. Just absolutely having an issue with that. If I bounce the pickup a little bit, it doesn't have so much of an issue and we keep moving. But it is funny that I have to bounce the pickup to keep the tractor moving sometimes. And it's like this pickup is pretty solid. I have a feeling that when this mod was released, or when this pack, because I think this is the DLC that was released in FS19. It had the same issue with this, where the pickup is so rigid that rather than following the lay of the ground, it tends to lift tractors up, especially if they're if they're not so big like our little one is, or like our farm one. So yeah, I'd quite like to see, I think, a fix for that, because it's something that works fine with balers. Balers, we see the pickup moving all the time, so don't quite know what's wrong with this. On the other hand, I have been pleasantly surprised by how this farmer is handling this trailer. I know this trailer is not a particularly big one, but it is a pretty heavy duty trailer, and we don't have to push too hard or drop down too many gears to have this come up the hill without much issue at all, which is really cool. I like that a lot. And yeah, we might be using this little tractor to cart a little bit more, simply because it is being much more useful as a carting tractor than I ever would have expected. And we've only got about 15% space in this, so we're just gonna get ourselves into position, fill this up, and go and tip it. But that should mean that when we come back to the field, we can empty this again and get then another full tank off this harvester without much issue. And that will speed things along a little bit. It has just gone 3 o'clock and we are not halfway through this field yet. So there's still quite a bit of work to do around here. It's just coming up to 6:30 in the evening here. And, well, we've got almost half the field out. In fact, no, we've got more than half the field out at this point. I think heading on into the evening and trying to get the rest of this harvested, or the rest of this collected, is probably the way to go. But with the sun setting, I think it's going to be fairly hard for us to see what's happening soon. So let's get some lights on here. Full working lights. And I am going to continue on and get the rest of this collected. Yeah, not that many more rows to go from what I can see. So it shouldn't take me long to do this. But it is getting on. And as a result, it's getting harder to see around here. So I think the best thing for me to do is collect up the rest of this off camera. Get this finished for the evening for a nice fresh start over there with our vegetable harvester next time to pick up the root crops and pick up the red beet, and we'll go from there. So for now, I'm going to leave this here, so all that remains is for me to say
thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. Special thanks to all my patrons and channel members. Your support is invaluable in making these videos and helping the channel to grow. For more from Virtual Farmer, check out the links below, follow on Twitch to watch live, and for more videos, subscribe and ring that bell. I will see you next time. Goodbye.